Yeah, so welcome to a brand new interview with me, Carl Maloney, down in the virtual lounge with none other than Shaun William Ryder. How you doing, mate? You okay?
I'm all right, yeah.
Just all right. How are you? I'm fine, thank you.
I'm good. I'm good. I really am good. I'm just a bit tired, but I'm really, I've got that, I'm almost 60, so I can get a little bit.
Of course you can, mate.
Every now and then.
Of course you can,
but
mate.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very good.
Well, the last time we had a chat, it was about 2 years ago, and I drove around with you in my car. That was me when I've interviewed you before. We drove around in my electric car, and we had a chat. It was just building up to your Black Grape tour that got delayed, right. And it's only just happening now.
What's only just happening now?
No, the Black Grape tour. It's because of COVID and everything, it got delayed.
Oh, right, yeah. Right. I thought it was when you was talking about the 2017 one when we did. Was it 2017 when we did the album thing?
Yeah.
Or was it when the Black Grape album?
I thought
it was something about that. So we drove about in your electric car.
Yes.
I can't remember, mate. I can't remember. But I mean, my part of my condition is I just can't remember shit.
Well, that's fine, mate. I remember it because, I've driven about with a legend like Shaun Ryder. I won't expect you to remember Carl Maloney from Sheffield.
Well, I know, but I should be able to remember driving around in your electric car. I mean, that's... what's this electric car? Was I looking at it and everything?
Well, we kind of we started talking about aliens straight away, so I don't know if that...
Oh.
If it spurred on some kind of like battery power alien vibe, I don't really know.
Right.
Well, you said yourself earlier, Shaun, you were a bit frazzled, but I'm not surprised, mate. You've got a lot on at the minute, haven't you? And the last time we had a chat was all about the Black Grape tour and all that kind of stuff, and aliens and I'm a Celebrity and all that kind of stuff that you've had going on. But so much has happened since then. You've got your solo tour that we're going to come on to. I watched you down at the Ritz the other night with Black Grape. Gogglebox has gone massive for you, an author. You've got a book. So
two books.
Sorry, mate. Go on.
And Shaun Ryder's Mumbo Jumbo.
There we go. Well, I'll put
Wilder Mumbo Jumbo or whatever it's called. Yeah.
So, how are you finding juggling all the? You mentioned yourself, your memory's not great with your ADHD and everything, but how do you manage all these different? Having Monday's gigs, Black Grape gigs. Yeah, you got your solo album. How are you managing it, mate?
Well, I think one way that I do manage it is that I just forget about it all. So I don't know how busy I am. Right. Like knackered. No. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's it's still a lot easier now than it was back in the day because huge amounts of drugs aren't involved anymore. So it obviously makes life a lot easier. So and I seem to be at a more leisurely. You say it. Go on.
Yeah, leisurely. Is it leisure? You feeling more leisurely?
A more leisurely pace now.
Yeah. Well, what was it about? Did the drugs? Because I remember seeing a recent interview. You saying the drugs kind of. Since you've been diagnosed with ADHD, the drugs kind of made you normal back in the day, where it didn't.
Oh yeah.
Where drugs had a different impact. Well, drugs, had a different impact on other people in different ways, don't they?
Well, when I first started taking a certain drug, it made me feel like a human being. It made me feel like, I'd just come into the human race, and I didn't feel, like me cock was twisted around my underpants and stuck up the crack of my ass. It made me feel normal. But as you go on with drugs, and I became a garbage head, which meant I was eating everything. It can, and it did get messy and complicated, but right. Well, I know what you're on about.
Yeah, well, it was great to see you live on that stage. I hadn't seen you. The last time I saw you, I think Happy Mondays at Tramlines in Sheffield live on the stage, but this Friday just gone, it was great to see Black Grape proper on form down at the Ritz in Manchester. And I think your relationship and the chemistry with you and Kermit that night, it was really nice to see. How did you find it in the band? And
well, yeah, I mean that's it. Don't get me wrong, right? The Mondays we're playing better, and it is better than ever, right? we're not all great friends, but when we get on stage, I mean, and do what we do, they're playing better than they've ever played. The band really are solid, so, but we've been doing the Mondays now with that band. The only original member that is missing is the keyboard player, for the fact that he can't play keyboards. He never could. Right. And still can't. And, we tried to bring him with us, and it didn't work, and he left. Yeah. But that band now, I mean, and Dan, who's our musical director, has been musical director in the Mondays all the time, and working with me all the time when, we didn't have the original band back. So Dan's been around for 20 years, getting on 20 years. And he plays keyboards, and Dan's also with with us in Black Grape. He's also the MD in Black Grape. Well, so the Mondays is great now. It's better than ever, and it's good. But like I say, we've now done 10 years of that with that lineup, and since we put it back together with our Paul and everything. I mean, we've done everything. We've done Pills and Frills. We've done Bummed. We've done bits of Squirrel and G-Man mixed in with a Bummed. I mean, the only thing, we've done the Greatest Hits thing twice. So, I mean, it's like, I think it's time to sort of give the Mondays a rest for a bit, and while I concentrate on doing more Shaun Ryder solo album, taking that out on tour, and putting as much time into Black Grape. I mean, the thing about Black Grape is, right, it's brilliant because it's still fresh. I mean, we did the new album, the Pop Voodoo album in 2017, so it's, compared to how long the Mondays have been going on this time round, it's still new. And now, the band, the Black Grape band and everything, especially, I mean, we do everything. We do the, bits off the second album, or the first album, and the Pop Voodoo. So, I want to do another month. I want to do another Black Grape album, so I want to take that on tour. So I just want to concentrate for a few years on Black Grape and SWR, give the Mondays a little rest for about 5 years, and then, do it again.
It was an absolute joy just to see how much banter you still had with Kermit on stage, and little fist bumps here and there. And there were little, Kermit actually mentioned one thing that I remember from the gig on Friday, and I think it was, yeah, brother. And Kermit said to you, I think we fucking hated each other writing this song. You still, what were all
that? We did. I mean, we did. We wrote it in a built-in wardrobe in a house in Los Angeles, while we was like smoking humongous amounts of crap and arguing over crumbs. So we nearly killed each other in that wardrobe when we wrote that. Yeah, but I mean,
what a tune, though.
Hey, oh yeah, it's great.
What a tune, though.
Great tunes come out of chaotic situations.
Brilliant. So just like, all the projects that you've got, Black Grape, we're coming on to the solo album. We're going to use that as a big finale, and we've got a lot of stuff to talk about with that too, Shaun. But Gogglebox, I've been enjoying you on telly again, mate.
Yeah, I mean, Gogglebox is brilliant. I mean, me and Bez, we're still best buddies. I keep saying it, we're in a sexless marriage. It's been going on almost 40 years. And now we get paid to watch telly, get pissed, and shout at the telly. I mean, I don't have many hobbies, but I do. One of my hobbies is shouting at the telly. Yeah. So, we get weighed on for that now. So it's great.
Did you really cry to Authorship down?
Yeah, we did. We were both on acid, weren't we? We were both tripping on black microdrops, and that is a true story, yeah. And we both sat there watching this movie, looking at each other, and keep crying. Yeah.
Well, it gets dark, though, doesn't it? And all later on with that Black Rabbit thing, when it gets proper like evil and that, when it starts taking over.
Yeah, no, it's a dark movie. Yeah, I mean,
my missus can't watch that. When it comes around on Easter, we can't watch that thing. I'm not going to get I'm not going to get bogged down with that film. Don't worry. So Yeah, so the new album's out, mate. We reviewed it on RGM recently, and we sent it out to all our readers. And I was just a couple of highlights from the album for me is "Close the Dam." And within the lyrics of the tune, you talk about you cut the drugs with something nasty.
Yeah.
Did you have to do a lot of research to write that song, or is that just fun back in the day?
No, I mean, no. Really, it's just stuff I've sort of like been around, witnessed, and then made it. I mean, my songs really, the stories, so they don't all have to be real, but there's elements of truth, I suppose, in all of them, or similar situations that you've been around, But I've been, at a few shit parties with shit drugs, and fake motherfuckers, with swimming pool parties. So, been around a few of them. I mean, and then there's all sorts, that we just shove in there. I mean, like Sonny was saying, Sonny'd say, like, look, stick some names in. I'm like, what do you mean stick some? Like who? He said, think of anyone you watched on telly or you're impressed by. And I'm going like, I think I just read or watched fucking Paul McKenna, right. and The Wire mentioning Baltimore, and then so The Wire, so Baltimore and fucking Paul McKenna end up in there. You know what I mean? And so, what the fuck's that about?
Do you ever look back?
The songs and they're entertaining.
They very much are, and it's part of the Shaun Ryder experience, and it just being entertained by your lyrics and your stories. And this album was recorded about 10 years ago, was it? Or it was started. It's been in the pipeline for a long time, hasn't it? Before we've got the final release.
Well, it was really finished, and I came back from LA where we finished it off at Sonny's place, and I came back and went straight into the jungle. And when I went into the jungle, I was going through, all my legal problems was just coming to an end. That's why I went in it. And then also I was, my management, Elliot Rashman, was getting out of the business again. So when I came out of the jungle, I had different management. Me 12-year legal problem was just coming to an end, or 14 years or whatever it was coming to an end. And, so Elliot, I got different management, and then the guy who was looking after us then didn't want me to put the album out. He basically wanted me to build up my profile doing, telly shows, So that's what I did, and it sort of just got forgot about. I mean, we released a 12-inch single a few years ago, but it really just, I mean, we even released the new Black Grape album. So it really did sort of just get put sidelined. And then when we went into lockdown, it was McGee who said, like, you just, dust off the cobwebs of your album. So that's what we did, Sonny remastered it. We did a few, we recorded a few vocals, changed a few things, and then we got it out. And that's all I ever wanted with that album, I just wanted it out because I've always thought it was a great album, and so was Sonny. We had great time making it, and I always just wanted it out. So I'm just over the moon now that it's out and it's done all right.
Yeah, well, we interviewed Alan McGee recently on the magazine, and I noticed they were in the balcony for the Black Grape gig the other day. So have you still got a tight relationship with him to the day?
Alan manages all my music career. Alan does. He manages the Mondays. He manages Black Grape. He looks after me and does all the music stuff. So yeah, absolutely.
He's still got one of the biggest thing for me with Alan McGee was just how in touch he is still with grassroots music, and he knows what's still coming up. That's never left with all his successes and all that kind of stuff, and that's never left him that grassroots.
Alan would die inside. Alan would actually literally die inside like a flower that's not been watered if he wasn't still doing all what he loves. Yeah. He's been involved with, as you say, grassroots music.
No, it's great. It's great to see it. Great to see it. Another tune I like from the album, Shaun, was Straighten Me Up. I've got like a bit like a Rolling Stonesy type of vibe, quite bluesy.
Right.
A different vibe to that one. So tell me a little bit about that particular tune.
Well, it's not my favourite track.
Is it not?
So, in fact, it's my least favourite track.
Is it?
To me, it's the most conventional, really.
Right.
You know, it reminds me of, I mean, it's good.
We're selling your album, by the way, mate.
What?
We're selling your album here as well.
Yeah, well, I think,
I know.
it's like my favourites are, Mumbo Jumbo, Put the Kettle On, Electric Scale, all the stuff that's a bit, just not straightforwardy, rock and roll. I mean, and that's, that is one of them tracks that, it's on there because maybe there's a lot of people that only like that track on the album.
Yeah.
Because that's the way some people are. But, like I say, it's a good song. It's great. It's, I enjoy it. And it'd be good playing it live. But I've got to be honest, it's my least favourite track.
Yeah. Well, you're not, they're all not, but when you write an album.
I like the weird shit.
Right. Okay. Good. Well, we're gonna play Mumbo Jumbo, the video, after this interview as well, so people get to see that song, because that was one of my favourites, and it's been sent over to us as well. So stay tuned to the end of the interview, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to play your Mumbo Jumbo, and you can watch.
Although I've got to say this, I don't think it's weird. To me, it's pop music, but it's how sort of a lot of other people are, So
yeah.
I mean, that was one of the things that we got when we first put the album about 10 years ago. It was like, we'd send it to people in the business and your record bosses. I mean, that's something juice. What's that? That's about that. It's like, we are doing something a bit fucking different.
Yeah. But
anyway.
looking back on the recording process, because it's been around in the world for, around in your repertoire for a bit before it got released. Do you look at it and still think, is there anything you change about the album?
No.
You ever look back on anything like that and think, I could have done this a bit different?
Well, that's it. We did, because, we had 10 years to, Sonny as well, actually had 10 years to just like listen and listen and listen. And so, we've got it at what we're happy with.
Right.
Which is really hard to do for me.
Could you remember some of the songs that you'd written from like 10 years ago?
Yeah, they're all on the album.
No, I mean, coming back to it before you released it and before you're going on tour with it and everything, do you have to kind of like, as a band, like get back together and remember, the structure of the songs and all that kind of stuff with them being?
Well, I mean, the thing is, do you know what? I don't really go into rehearsals, right? I mean, especially Black Grape, right? The band and the Mondays, really. I mean, the Mondays stuff, I've been playing it. I mean, okay, I have to read an auto cue for the lyrics.
Yeah.
I mean, that's again, there's lots. I mean, it's like I've always said, well, an author of a book won't walk up on stage and just fucking talk through his book.
No chance.
Don't expect somebody to walk on stage who's, doing a book and, and just speak that book without the fucking, without reading it. Well, you're writing songs and you wrote fucking hundreds of them. So, and also with my ADHD anyway, I mean, before we had auto cues years ago, I'd go on and I'd start off with the second verse, and have the rest of the band going, what you fucking doing? Because that's just part of the condition on how I get things muddled up. But, I just have to sort of hear the music, and then as soon as I hear the music, and I've got the lyrics there on auto cue, I don't have any problem in remembering me vocal gymnastics.
So you're an author now, Shaun, as well. You've got this solo album coming out, and you've got 2 books coming out. So you're keeping yourself busy, mate. So tell us about the first one then, Mumbo Jumbo. Tell us a little bit about what it is.
Well, Mumbo Jumbo, I think it's a bit of a coffee table book, really. That is wrote by fans and people who met me and know me or work with me. So they've all contributed their stories to this book. I mean, it's really weird as well how people remember things, I mean, well, it's not weird. I mean, people remember things their way, you remember things your way. So, certainly, there's certainly a few sort of bits in that book that I have to pick people up on. I mean, some of the stuff What?
Like what? Go on, give us an example.
Well, okay, right. It didn't actually make the book because I wouldn't let it put in. But you got Ucky going, telling me story of how he'd go to Tony Will, he'd be there, going to see Tony. And I'd be there saying, get rid of Bez from the fucking band. And why is he getting paid the same as us? And this and that. Well, do you know what? It's like, well, that is just, yeah, that did happen, but not with me. I mean, I was the one that brought Bez into the band. I was the one that fucking argued for Bez's wages. I was the one that, when the fucking band ended, that we didn't want to end, that me and Bez went around together and asked the rest of the band members not to split up the band. But the rest of him was at Tony Wilson's fucking office every day. Why is Bez in the band? Get rid of him. Why is he getting paid this? Why has he got a mortgage? And all that sort of thing. And saying, well, yeah, that's true what Ucky heard, but that wasn't me. And it doesn't even make sense it being me.
No.
Why say, and straight away I brought him into the fucking Black Grape. So yeah, okay, you are right on hearing that, but it wasn't fucking me. That was our kid, Paul Davis and Gaz Whelan, and it came out of their mouths every day of the fucking week. So there was bits in that. I thought, you know what, I'm not having that in the book. And then these other dickheads that have wrote bits in it, I thought, fuck that, that's not going in. That was my book.
One more example then, Shaun. I'm loving it.
I'll leave it at that now.
Okay, fair enough.
But Ucky is right on what he's saying, but it wasn't me, Ucky, if you ever see this fucking interview. Yes. I mean, I battled so hard for fucking Bez. And, anyway.
Yeah, fair enough. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the factory days.
To the fucking band.
Right.
Because he looked good. And he was great looking on videos. And he was my mate.
I'm leaving it. Have you any more on that, Shaun?
No, that's it now.
Out your system now, mate. Are we good?
I'm ranting on that one.
Brilliant. And tell us about this other book then, because I wasn't aware of the second book as well. Tell us about this one.
Well, the second book's out now. The second book's... No, right. It's not. The first book's out, Mumbo Jumbo.
Yeah.
That's just come out. But the book, the one, that I've got to do on fucking bookstore visits on and everything, is How to Be a Rock Star, which is sort of, again, it's like the Peter Crouch one, How to Be a Football Player sort of thing, and that, again, is done with my my sort of ghostwriting partner, Luke Bainbridge. Luke's the one who worked on the autobiography with me. So, yeah. So there's a few things on that, right? Because I'm not a fucking... One of the things that I find really difficult to do because of my ADHD is read books. I can read, but one, I can't fucking remember what's gone on 3 lines before.
I can't.
Straight away, it's gone out my head. I'll read the same lines over and over and over again, and I have to put my finger on it. So I find it very difficult to read books. It's like I'm all right, reading newspapers, and things, but sort of, I find it really difficult. So I'm, I sort of tend to not read them correctly, books, and then I've just had to do the audio book. Right. So I'm finding bits in this fucking book that I was absolutely not aware of. Let's just say that. So I've fucking said to Luke, will you stop taking the fucking piss out of people, slagging them off, and then using my fucking name in the book?
Oh, so you're saying it was Luke that said it, not you?
Absolutely.
Right, yeah. Fair enough. And how do you be a rock star? What's like the top thing that you should do to be a rock star?
Well, here's the thing, right? In the book, like I say, I've just spent, 3 fucking weeks or whatever it is on reading it on the auto book, and I can't really remember what I've read.
Yeah,
I really can't.
Yeah.
It's gone in while I'm there and it's there, but now I really can't, and I'm not shitting you. Remember?
Yeah.
If I'd have listened to the auto book, I would remember some of it.
I like buying books, but I can't read them. I always buy the local Manchester ones now I'm living in here to try and get better, little history behind me.
Well, most of them are a load of bollocks.
Well, I can't compete with that, Shaun. Yeah, I can't really. I buy stuff because I don't know. They look nice in a certain place in your house, don't they? But then I can't read them because I don't have a lot of time to read really, and I don't remember them when I do read them anyway. So what's the point?
Oh, you might have a bit of a condition going on.
I might have to. Yeah.
I mean, I do. On my iPad, I've got all my newspapers and all the stuff that I find it easier to read off iPad and magazines and stuff and articles. And articles are a lot shorter and more compact.
Yeah.
So you sort of just hit me and that. And
then you've got it.
Stay in a bit. Yeah.
Well, Shaun, I appreciate I've overrun a little bit. I'm sorry for just overrunning by 5 minutes or so for this interview.
All right.
Are you okay? I just wanted to thank you for your time, mate. I'm going to put links to your 2 books on this interview. I'm playing Mumbo Jumbo straight after this video so people can enjoy it. I'll put the link to the new album. If I'd recommend you go and see Black Grape as well. I went down on Friday down at the Ritz and it was class. It was just, everybody were enjoying themselves. You're a national treasure, mate. Do you realise that?
Well, I mean, you know what? It's better than being called a cunt, isn't it?
That's the quote for the interview. Well, what I've always liked about you, Shaun, is you've always told it how it is. You don't give a shit. You shoot from the hip. Your backlog is what it is. It's credible and it's an amazing backlog, an amazing history you've had in music. There's not a lot of people around the music industry that are like you, Shaun. And I just wanted to thank you for everything for this time today, for interviewing, being a part of the interview, and I just really appreciate your time, mate. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having us.
You're very welcome, mate. You're very welcome. Have you got much on for the rest of today then? Another interview and then chilling?
I've got a 6 o'clock Zoom. I can't tell you what that's about. I'm not allowed.
Sure, fair enough.
And then that's it. But then I'm back at it tomorrow and that.
Yeah.
So back to London.
Well, I were interviewing the Crooks the other day that are supporting you down at London. They're nice lads, Chesterfield lads.
Right.
They're supporting Black Grape on the next one down there. Is it O2 Islington you're playing next?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I do know that it's a Manchester band and all that. I mean,
Rosellas, I believe. I've had them on at my gigs before. Yeah, Rosellas. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. Because they entered. Did they have to enter a competition or send something in there to Scott's Menswear or something?
Yeah.
And then they got picked out. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Nice one, Shaun. Really appreciate your time, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm just going to stop this recording first, just before we end it. I'll just stop that first. Where do I press stop?
The rise and fall at top of the pops. Candy stripes, opportunity knocks. Baby baggy baddies, cut off the locks. Electric socks, call the cops. You run the block, take the knock. I'll take the bite, typhoid dynamite. She likes the music in the key of death. She likes the music in the key of death. There you go, bro. Don't give me no more Mumbo Jumbo. There you go, bro. Don't give me no more Mumbo Jumbo. It's the return of the bouncing baby big heads. All of them stressing on respect. What's next? When in your neck? Cheek dogging bite Bangladesh. I've got 100% certified jellyfish Texas. You on that? You on that? I've got 100% certified jellyfish Texas. You on that? You on that? There you go, bro. Don't give me no more Mumbo Jumbo. There you go, bro. Don't give me no more Mumbo Jumbo. There you go, bro. Don't give me no more Mumbo Jumbo. There you go, bro. Don't give me no more Mumbo Jumbo. Hey, there you go. Do you get on that? Do you get on the Mumbo Jumbo? I've got 75% jellyfish Texas.
There you go.
I've got 75% jellyfish Texas.